Have you ever questioned the reason behind the tasks and efforts you put in each day? Are you aware of the things you produce for yourself, your employees, your business, your customers, and the society contribution? If your answer is in the negative, then you should pay attention to this chapter. It is common for our subconscious mind to have a desire or perception of achieving something in order to learn, develop, grow, and fulfill our basic needs. These desires may be related to the feeling of accomplishment, rewards or punishments. This journey is unique to each individual, especially when you're full of energy and have the novelty of finding the perfect job to help pay your bills and start generating income. However, it is important to remember the reason why you started working, your personal goals and vision, and to remain open to opportunities for growth within the company, especially if it is a larger organization. Many of us tend to follow the same path as our close relatives, friends, and others in our inner circle who have been successful. They provide us with guidance and contribute to our growth. This is the first step towards finding the right place to start our professional journey. It's a common scenario where we seek opportunities and try to find a place that can help us grow, based on rational thinking. There is nothing wrong with being independent and socially responsible. We live alongside other human beings, animals, plants, and our community, and it is our mission to become someone. We are all thrilled with the idea of success. The issue arises when you come to the realization that you have already spent 5 or 10 years, or even 20 or 30 years, pursuing what? Accumulating wealth, climbing the corporate ladder, and taking on additional responsibilities. Devoting your time from 8 to 12 hours per day for an extended and constant period that stretches into weeks, then months, and ultimately years. As you reflect on your work, you realize that your efforts have contributed to the profitability of your company. However, you also feel that your time, energy, and enthusiasm have been undervalued. At times, you question why you are not receiving a greater share of the company's success. Fortunately, most private and public companies have a compensation process in place. In a typical setting, the percentage increase ranges from 8% to 12%, depending on the company's growth and adherence to fair practices. Usually, the implementation involves a performance funnel for top, mid, and low performers. In short, if you are going beyond your duty and investing more than what is instructed, you might be considered as a mid or top-level worker. Congratulations, you may be eligible for an 8% increment, which is given to only 3% to 5% of workers. If you do some basic math, you will realize that these inconsistent increments can create difficult situations. There are certain factors that are beyond our control, such as inflation, job security, and social obligations like family responsibilities. Additionally, there are commitments that we make, such as long-term investments in housing, education for ourselves and our families, food expenses, rent, and other related expenses. These factors can all add up and make it difficult to manage our finances effectively. When you mix everything together and create a visual representation, with you as the input, you can access a white box. Within this white box are the boundaries of reality, which we will call P and AMP, see, produce and contribute. I can understand that you want me to elaborate a little bit more. The box that you are referring to is. I can understand that you want me to elaborate a little bit more. The box that you are referring to is the set of boundaries within which you perform certain activities that result in compensation, usually monetary. Sometimes, you may also receive benefits or other perks. However, it is interesting to note that these benefits are often designed to keep you within the boundaries of the box. If the company is well run and produces goods that the customers want, then the boundaries of the box will start to become more fluid and transparent. You will have more control over what you do, when you do it, and why. The box will no longer be a rigid set of rules and tasks to be performed, but rather a flexible framework that allows you to contribute in meaningful ways. The boundaries of the box will start to blur and disappear, until you are no longer confined by them. Your mind has been learning to carry out tasks and duties for several years. Remember that your body is capable, so try to automate tasks not just to improve the process, but also to continue on your proactive roadmap. This is more about making daily duties easier, since people tend to be lazy and always look for ways to get things done with minimal effort, but with the same results. This is what we call the first pulpo trick. You need to be conscious of what you're doing, why you're doing it, and whether you've accomplished your daily goal. What's next? The second pulpo trick is to understand where you stand, where you came from, what you have accomplished, and how you feel. It's essential to connect with yourself and identify the type of feelings, sensations, or vibrations that a task generates in your body, mind, and soul. For instance, when someone asks for your advice, if your opinion weighs heavily on the other person, it might not be the right way to go. Instead of burdening them, Try to create a solution that frees them from any risks and issues. This approach can give you a sense of relief and satisfaction. Why? Because you will be actively focused on helping others, team members, your boss, company customers, etc. You will be pulled once again into the same road of being unconscious and executing what you are supposed to execute. To set a clear intention for the second pulpo trick, evaluate yourself and question all the tasks that you plan to perform. Also, consider any additional tasks that may arise during your daily routine. Use a time management model to identify what is important and urgent, and prioritize those tasks. The less urgent but still important tasks can be scheduled for later, while the unimportant and non-urgent tasks can be delegated to someone else. It's important to include non-urgent and non-important tasks in your wish list or to-do list. It may sound easy, but you must be aware of the millions of signals and information that will appear in your mind inbox. You need to consciously identify the tasks that align with your own goals and will give you a win-win situation. By doing this, you'll be able to stay in the top 5% of any company. The idea is not to live or die for any employer. You are the most critical player in this game, and you should be the priority. As Kiyosaki mentioned in his books, first pay yourself, then take care of monthly expenses, and finally, the rest. This is literal advice that implies that you should prioritize yourself first before anything else. The rest of our purchases are usually unnecessary, such as credit card expenses, and things that won't benefit our mind, body, or soul. These expenses are what I like to call the third pulpo trick. It's important to identify which regular or sporadic expenses are draining your life. You must consciously decide which expenses to continue and which ones to avoid. Depending on your economy, this could be anywhere from 30% to 60% of our income. When we talk about wealth and generating profit, it's important to remember that you're not just contributing to society and creating better products for customers. You're also responsible for creating something that will have a positive impact on the community and the environment, as well as help people succeed in their lives. Therefore, it's important to keep these factors in mind and work towards making a meaningful impact. In order to ensure that you can cover your basic needs such as food, clothing, accommodation, transportation, and some education, you need to evaluate and identify certain aspects. This will help. Transportation, and some education, you need to evaluate and identify certain aspects. This will help you determine your minimum or survival. Once you have an idea of the amount of money you need, you can start planning your needs accordingly. Remember, money is just a tool. You should aim to save at least 30% of your income for investments, savings, and creating activities that will help you generate more money. It is important to follow a guideline for generating profits from 8% to 50% for each investment journey you embark on. For instance, investing in government bonds or sets.com in Mexico can yield a profit of 10 to 15%. This implies that investing 30% of your money in such instruments can generate a return of 45% in 1 year. If you are disciplined enough, your money can start doubling every 5 years and you can earn additional monthly income to help clear your debts. This is known as the third pulpo trick. Identify your debts, determine which one has the highest interest rate, and create a plan to pay it off first. Then, continue making the minimum payments on the other debts. This fifth tip will provide you with visibility into your interest rates, total debt, and assets such as your car or house. Make sure to include these plans in your budget, allocating 30% towards reducing your debt, 30% towards investments, and 10% for emergencies. The remaining 30% should cover your basic living expenses. Depending on your financial profile, you can identify 3 groups of money or debt that you currently have. You can visually analyze where you stand financially and take appropriate steps to manage your finances effectively. This will allow you to make informed decisions about your investments and give you the freedom to nurture your consciousness in a work environment. Remember to prioritize yourself when being proactive. Identify the benefits that a task can bring you, such as acquiring a new skill, building a new relationship, or obtaining a new job. Once you determine which tasks are worthwhile, approach them with an obsessive mindset. Treat each task as if it were the last one you will perform in the day. Imagine that every day could be your last day on earth. Don't get me wrong, this is not a suicidal mindset, but rather a grateful mindset. Nobody knows when their time on this planet will come to an end. So, what if you consider giving your best efforts towards things that align with your vision, goals, and plans? By doing so, you can learn to accomplish tasks efficiently, automate when possible, and use other tools to help you along the way. And one day, you'll find yourself in a very different situation. You'll understand where you're going, why you're doing what you're doing, and you'll learn that you are responsible for your own performance. You'll have the freedom to choose, and your soul will be aware that you have a choice, and that choice is yours alone to make. This is the most important knowledge to share. Please decide for yourself, otherwise, someone else will make the decision for you. You'll live a miserable life, trying to escape a box, or worse, not even realizing that you're in one. I wish you the best on this path. While it may be difficult, it will bring you a decade of awareness and happiness because it produces freedom. Be proactive, be brave, be bold, but be someone who decides what to do. Be conscious, and the signals will be more obvious. Having spare time will allow you to focus on yourself. Here is a bonus pulp trick: start with your body. Care about what you eat, as food is just energy, and your body needs it. Choose wisely. An easy way to put yourself in shape, both physically and mentally, is to follow the 6 weeks zero added sugar plan. Do not consume sugar before 2 p.m. For breakfast, you can have eggs with salad and coffee or a protein shake. Include 30 minutes of exercise every other day to start, such as walking the dog. Start with cold showers. Yes, you read that right. Research the benefits and start switching from warm to cold water during your shower, increasing the duration of the cold water each time until you can step into a fully cold shower. Don't think or hesitate, just do it. These 4 tasks should be organized in a pattern and executed over the course of 6 weeks. However, it's important to note that these 6 weeks will be a real challenge for you. You won't have an exam to study for, an interview to prepare for, or even the nerves of speaking to a girl for the first time. This is a challenge against your own body, which may try to pull you away from your journey and lead the relationship between your soul, mind, and body for its own benefit. Your body could be your ally, but first, you need to work with and train it. Challenge it by exercising, walking, moving, jumping, dancing. First, you need to work with and train it. Challenge it by exercising, walking, moving, jumping, dancing, and more. The machinery inside your body is designed to move, and everything in our world is in continuous movement and vibration. If your body remains still and you provide it with only small treats, it will start to dominate the circulatory systems in your body, leading to energy accumulations in certain areas that will become increasingly difficult to release. When the body is not moving enough and feels tired at the end of the day, it is essential to prioritize sleep. Sleep is a superpower that enables all the other practices of the next 6 weeks. With this routine, the body will start to remember that some orders should be followed, not created. The fundamental orders, such as breathing, blinking, and heartbeats, are always there and cannot be changed. If you want to understand this better, you can look into the practices of Tibetan monks. Over time, your body will reach a balanced state where it faces the right amount of challenges and has sufficient time to recover. By reducing your intake of added sugar, your body will revert back to its natural state and obtain nutrients and sweetness from healthier sources such as fruit. However, it's important to keep in mind that while strawberries are a better option than candy or cookies, in this context, 5 almonds are a better choice than a strawberry. The main idea is to reprogram your way of thinking by asking yourself questions such as, does it contain added sugar? Is it after 2 p.m.? Can I find a less harmful sweet alternative? After just 4 days, you will begin feeling the real change, not just in your body, but also in your overall outlook. In 2 weeks, you will notice significant changes in your body and focus. To accomplish your goals, you need to have a warrior mindset. The real battle will be within your mind. Don't try to convince your body to do something. Instead, create a routine, schedule it, and execute it. Don't let your mind wander, or ask questions, just follow your routine. Secondly, fight your battle in the same arena, the mind. Dedicate some time to yourself and become conscious of your thoughts. Identify the voices in your head that usually come as thoughts. Try to count how many you have and group them. Then, choose a group and focus on its thoughts. Elaborate them step by step until you execute them in your mind. Identify the outcome. This is how your mind tries to create solutions for the challenges or ideas that surround you. If you have too many thoughts, your mind will be overloaded and won't be able to process all of them simultaneously, which will affect your body's energy. When you face challenges related to any 6-week body challenge, like how can I continue doing this exercise? Or why would people run if it hurts? Your mind will try to find an answer, even to hypothetical questions. However, you need to be alert and focus on the present moment. Don't let your mind wander and focus on one important thought. The present moment is a simple concept, just be alert and present in the moment, like a white canvas ready to be painted. Don't try to control anything, just accept what is happening. This is a mindset that allows your body to carry out its functions while you consciously fight real battles. By achieving balance, You can identify the different realities that exist within you, such as being a spouse, a father, an employee, an investor, etc. Once you identify these realities, you can separate them and make rational decisions, while also leveraging the experiences that worked well between them. When your mind is in a calm and balanced state, you should not avoid any thoughts or try to eliminate them. Instead, acknowledge that there may be many thoughts, but it is important to focus on the ones that are urgent and require more energy and intelligence to solve. Allocate specific time periods to work on these important thoughts. By doing so, you will feel a sense of accomplishment at the end of the day, similar to the feeling of physical accomplishment after exercising your body. Finally, there is the soul, the upper being, or the creation particle within us. It will begin to present itself to you in your own personal way, guiding you towards the right information. You need to be keen to pick up the signals that are all around you, but you will realize that they are within you and that you are creating them. This comes after you have dealt with the other two aspects, which is what El Pulpo recommends. After the 6 weeks of fighting with your mind and identifying which thoughts are from you, your family heritage, your social life or work, you can start with the baseline, El Kabbalion. You might be podcast page for your family heritage, your social life or work. You can start with the baseline, El Kabbalion. You might be able to understand why your soul needs to reach the words to the energies and vibrations that you have created with the particle. This will help you interact with all other beings and connect not only in this dimension but in several others. However, that is part of another story. Pulpinitas, I appreciate your business. Remember, you can always count on me for help. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I am here to assist you in any way possible. Looking forward to hearing from you again soon. Tamala con tu nuevo aprendizaje. By Calaveras en el pulpo del lado oscuro de la luna.